All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to follow the deeply personal journey of Muhammad Arif. You know, Arif was a seasoned financial advisor. He spent his days doing what advisors do, discussing mutual funds, retirement planning, wealth creation. And honestly, he thought he understood absolutely everything there was to know about money, how it moves, how it grows, how to manage it. But then, a single, completely unexpected moment just shattered his entire perspective. It literally forced him to reevaluate his life's work.
Picture this. It happened at the end of what felt like a perfectly ordinary client meeting. They had reviewed the goals, the portfolios, the whole long-term plan. The client, a soft-spoken guy in his 30s, just leans forward and calmly asks, Arif bhai, one question. This investment is halal, right? And Arif froze. I mean, completely froze. The question wasn't aggressive at all, there was no accusation, but in that stark contrast between his client's calm demeanor and his own sudden internal panic, Arif realized something pretty terrifying. Despite all his years of financial expertise, he had never truly examined the ethical layer of modern investing. He didn't have a real answer.
Section 1. The Catalyst. One question changed it all. So, Arif told his client he needed to look into it a bit more deeply. But that night, the question just followed him home, peeling back everything he thought he knew. Like, what actually makes a financial product permissible? Is it really just about avoiding interest? What if a company profits from things you ethically oppose? Does the mere fact that an investment is profitable automatically make it acceptable?
And, naturally, it didn't stop there. His questioning quickly expanded from individual isolated investments to the hidden, underlying structures of the entire banking system. If the whole system is built on lending, borrowing, and interest, well, how do everyday people participate in it without compromising their values? He realized that modern finance is this vast, complicated web, and untangling it is incredibly difficult.
Now, what's really interesting about this specific question is how it completely shifted his worldview. Think about his profession. The only goal had ever been growth, right? Bigger portfolios, higher returns, faster accumulation. But suddenly, looking at the balance between wealth and conscience, he had to ask, is growth alone enough if you're constantly carrying doubt inside? It was right here that he shifted his focus from mere wealth accumulation to the pursuit of inner peace. Section 2. The silent confusion, the emotional toll of money.
As Arif started opening up about these doubts, he realized something huge. He wasn't alone. Ordinary people everywhere are silently burdened by this exact same confusion. People actually avoid questioning their finances because, frankly, they are terrified of the answers. So they blindly participate because everyone else is doing it. And when they do finally seek advice, they're exhausted by conflicting opinions. They fear social judgment, and deep down they're anxious that finding the truth might force them to make really uncomfortable lifestyle changes. All of this creates immense emotional fatigue and a heavy culture of silence.
Section 3. The Invisible System. A system built entirely on debt.
So why is it so hard to just do the right thing? Because modern society literally forces us into an endless hustle on a treadmill of debt. To put that into perspective, global debt recently crossed a staggering $315 trillion. Trillion! That is a reality so massive we can barely even comprehend it. We're constantly pushed to consume and spend money we haven't even earned yet. Housing loans, credit cards, student debt, they're heavily marketed to us as opportunities, right? But in reality, they trap ordinary people in a cycle of endless repayment. Even with great incomes, people are living with constant anxiety because their future is already sold off to pay for their past. And then he had this absolute epiphany from a friend in banking. His friend told him, entire economics rely on borrowing. Just let that sink in for a second. It's not just a personal finance issue. It is the inescapable reality of global economic structures. The system actually requires you to be in debt just to sustain its own growth.
Section 4. The Illusion of Safety. Rethinking Security.
This means we have to completely rethink what financial security actually is, because the conventional wisdom we've all been taught is fundamentally flawed. We're told to put our money in safe places, like standard savings accounts, but safe does not always mean secure. Traditional safe investments often silently lose their real value to inflation over time, meaning the true risk isn't just some sudden dramatic market crash, it's the gradual, invisible decay of your purchasing power, all while you're sleeping soundly thinking you're protected. Think about it. Everyday financial decisions usually get trapped between two extremes. On one side, you have this paralyzing fear of losing money, which keeps people frozen in those so-called safe but depreciating assets. On the other side, reckless greed and the fear of missing out, FOMO, push people into highly speculative, casino-like investments. And the reality is, neither of these extremes comes from a place of peace.
Section 5. The deeper philosophy. Beyond avoiding interest.
Arif realized that ethical and Islamic finance is far more than just some technical checklist of what not to do. It is a profound contrast in human behavior. Modern finance thrives on speed, greed, endless consumption, and interest. It actively rewards constant dissatisfaction. In stark contrast, ethical finance roots itself in patience, moderation, ethical boundaries, and social responsibility. It's designed to ensure that your emotional balance isn't completely destroyed in the blind pursuit of wealth. And this actually builds a super practical framework for anyone trying to navigate investments without sacrificing their conscience. Step 1. Question the root source of your money's growth. Step 2. Evaluate the ethical impact of the businesses you are actually funding. Step 3. Avoid that casino mentality of excessive speculation. And Step 4, perhaps the most important, prioritize your internal peace over pure unchecked profit.
Section 6. The Epiphany. Finding peace in money.
Ultimately, the goal of Arif's whole journey wasn't just a simple portfolio change. It was about redefining wealth entirely through this beautiful concept called Barakah. Barakah is the presence of peace, emotional stability, and true contentment in your wealth, rather than just focusing on the mathematical amount of money in the bank. Two people can earn the exact same mathematical amount, but only one might experience true emotional calmness, while the other is just consumed by stress and this nagging feeling of never having enough.
Arif shares this incredibly powerful story in the source material about a businessman he met. Now, this man had lived through massive financial highs and some really devastating lows, and he told Arif a profound truth. His years of earning the absolute highest income were actually filled with the most internal stress, anxiety, and conflict. Conversely, his leaner financial years were the times he could actually sleep peacefully at night. It just goes to show financial growth and financial peace do not always travel together. So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a lingering thought from Arif's journey, something you can apply to your own lifelong pursuit of wealth. What kind of relationship with money allows a person to grow without losing their peace? Are your financial decisions serving your life, or is your life quietly serving a financial system? Take a moment today to really look inward and evaluate what you are actually building for your future.